What it do, YouTube? Your boy Playoff Don is back with another video. And we're about at week 12. We're about at week 12 for the NFL season. And a certain discussion that hasn't been discussed as much, like it is usually, probably because quarterback play is down. But that's the MVP award. Um, and like I said, quarterback play has not been spectacular this year. We do have that sometimes where we kind of just give the MVP to the best of a mid bunch, like for lack of a better term. Of course, all these quarterbacks are like all the good quarterbacks are like they're all playing well, but nobody's having that killer, awesome locked in season where it's like, dang, that dude was on another level that year. No quarterback is really having that for one guy. Except for one guy. And I know I'm kind of going against the grain a little bit because I don't think a lot of other people have this take. But I got to be honest with y'all. I think, and I've been mainly critical of this guy for the majority of his career, just because I felt like he was getting a deserved amount of flowers, but a little, too much a little too much I don't know, too much benefit of the doubt, kind of, for another lack of a better term. But I got to give him his props this year, man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think Dak Prescott is the MVP of the NFL this season. Seriously. He's been he's been ridiculously locked in this year. And I know somebody's going to hear the name Dak and they're either going to think, wow, I didn't even think of that. Let me go look at his numbers. Or they're going to think, how can Dak be the MVP? They haven't beaten a single good team. Well, I will remind you guys that it is the NFL MVP is a pretty much who was the most outstanding quarterback this season, who was playing the best, most consistently, who was playing at the highest level, pretty much. Just from a game to game basis, from a down to down basis, who just played the best for the majority of the season. That's really what it is. Resume comes into it too. Of course, numbers play a huge factor. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know the numbers straight up verbatim because I'm a guy that just does not care about NFL stats at all. I think they're insanely meaningless unless it's like something obviously significant, like something as bland as passing yards. I really could care less because situations and circumstances affect all of those like traditional counting stats. But stuff like EPA per play, when it's heavily favoring Dak Prescott, like again, yards per attempt and just like EPA per dropback, stuff like that, Dak Prescott is killing the league in. Now, yes, the pushback for that would be, what's Dak Prescott's signature win? What contending team have the Cowboys beaten on this year? They haven't beaten. They haven't. I will absolutely admit that. And then the one shot they did, well, the two shots they did, but the one big shot they did was in prime time against the 49ers, of course, and they got that work. I'm with you. The other big game they had as well was, of course, in Philly. And even though Dak played well in that game, they still came up short. And so the narrative continues that the Cowboys can't beat good teams. And I think that's totally fair. But if you're looking at full body of work, right? From week 1 to week 12, who has played the best Who's played at the highest level for the longest throughout that whole stretch? And I don't think you can. Okay, you can say someone else, but you can't I don't think you can say someone else more so than Dak Prescott. And I tried my best to I agree. Okay, like it's really all about your criteria, right? My criteria is who's played at the highest level for the longest amount of time, for the longest stretch. That's mine. If your criteria is signature wins, then you'll probably say Lamar's the MVP, which if somebody said that, I'm totally cool with that. If somebody said the numbers, if you're all about the numbers winning MVP, then you're probably not even going to give it to a quarterback. You're probably going to give it to Tyreek Hill, or which I'm less cool with that, but I get where you're coming from. I just don't think non-quarterbacks should be winning MVPs, but that's just my opinion. I mean, it's not just my opinion; it's a lot of people's opinions. But if you think that, hey, go for it, push that agenda. But this is the best. If at any point you thought Dak Prescott was a top five QB at all, at any point, even close to that, he's playing better than that right now. He is playing possibly the best football that he's ever played. It's either this or back in 2021, that first year after he came back from injury, and their defense wasn't that good, but it was just Dak and a bunch of crazy receivers, and they were scoring a million points every game, and that was really fun to watch. And when Dak is cooking, it's incredibly entertaining. And I would say try and separate him from the team's performance, but the team is they're they're putting up a ton of points. The offense is crazy. It's in sync. It's like the level of command he has on over the offense. It's like you don't see this really like pre-snap, post-snap. Just it's nuts the command he has. Like you see this from like Tom Brady. You see it from like Aaron Rodgers. You see it from Joe Burrow gets there like that. Like really, that is how well Dak is playing in my opinion. He's been unbelievably accurate. He's extending plays, ridiculous seam throws, like corner routes again, seams, posts. He's doing it all. He's using his legs to extend plays. He's been so sensational, and I really think that whether he wins it or not, I really think that he's playing the best of any quarterback. And I think the only thing you can say is they don't have that signature win. Now, they do have four upcoming games that are pretty big that he can stamp it. He can stamp it in with these upcoming games. We'll see how that goes for them. But yeah, man, I don't see another quarterback playing this well for this long, this many games in a row. He's been outstanding. And the numbers do say he's been outstanding. And I'm willing to throw out one bad primetime game for 12 other elite games. I'm willing to do that. And the Cowboys have been sensational. And if they can just avoid the 49ers on that side of the playing bracket, they can still very much make the Super Bowl. But we will have to see there. But yes, if you're gonna ask me, I do think that Dak Prescott is the MVP. I think he's playing better than any quarterback right now, and he has been for the past month and a half. And he should be recognized as such. But yes, that is just my opinion. That's my MVP take. Don't worry, I will be coming out with more videos in the near future. But let me know how wrong I am. Let me know who you think the MVP is. Is it still too early? to say that because we still got 6 more weeks to go, let me know. But this has been Playoff Don. Y'all take it easy. Peace.